if we had a real president, not the president that made a speech last night where everybody fell asleep and what he said, hey, look. So what happens, and what Obama was saying, President Obama, because we have to treat him with respect, right? Yes? Just think of this. So you have a president who's African-American. Good, I love that. Except less has been done for African-Americans than anybody. They're having one of the worst times they've ever had. African-American youth.
That actually ripped, not from the headlines.
Watching our guests.
Not ripped from the headlines. It actually ripped from the mouth of Tavis Smiley yesterday, who basically said the same thing.
Let's try and let's see where this conversation goes. Joining us now, Chair of the Department of African American Studies at Princeton University, Eddie Glaude Jr. He's the author of the new book, Democracy in Black: How Race Still Enslaves the American Soul. Also with us, President and CEO of the National Urban League, Marc Morial. Good to have you both on the show.
Thank you guys so much for being with us. Congratulations on the book.
Wow. Is this Club Day?
Yesterday.
Oh, you'll pop right now.
Yeah. Slow clap.
Let's go.
So it has to be, and we were talking to Tavis about this yesterday, it has to be so frustrating for black Americans who say, okay, we got a black president, attorney general, I mean, go down the list, national security advisor, and yet we seem to be falling further and further behind every year. The stories coming out of Chicago, coming out of Ferguson, coming out of Baltimore. How do you square all of this?
Well, I think that's the great paradox, right? I mean, we thought we had turned a corner.
If I went to Princeton, I would have said, you know, the great paradox is. So go ahead.
But it seems we thought we turned a corner. We, remember when he was first elected, we thought we entered a post-racial era.
Right.
But what we do know is that over the last 8 years, African Americans have fallen behind almost in every major statistical category. We see that 38% of African American children are in poverty. We know that during the housing crisis, over 240,000 homes were lost. We know that African Americans are still struggling in terms of the labor market. So part of this
youth unemployment, especially for young black men, staggering.
Right, but that's been there for a long time.
I know it has.
It's been that way a long time.
So let me ask you. So we've seen a lot of other Americans, white Americans, Hispanic Americans, see over the past couple of years, rich getting richer, poor getting poor. Is it usually just magnified, more magnified for black Americans? Is that the main issue?
We usually say, as Marc would know, that when a white American catches a cold, we catch the flu.
Right.
And so this has been the case. And so in the context of this book, we want to just say.
But let me make this point. The question is, what's the baseline for comparison? Is it January 2009, when the black unemployment was higher than it is today? Are the problems and the exacerbation a function of the Great Recession? And the fact of the matter is, and because I've been involved in this, is that even ideas put forward by the president to alleviate this unemployment issue, called the American Jobs Act, introduced in 2011, never saw the light of day because of a Senate filibuster. So there's responsibility, but there's responsibility to go around.
And by the way,
I think that's important.
By the way, we're not blaming. I'm not blaming anything on President Obama in this case, because the bigger problem is, and we say it here all the time, since 1973, average wages have gone down
for everyone,
for all Americans, for all Americans. And this is a Republican problem, it's a Democratic problem. But again, the great paradox is so many African Americans had to believe when President Obama was elected, okay.
But Joe, there were some of us who never bought the post-racial rhetoric.
I didn't buy it either.
It was never. It was a.
But that's
tiara.
Right. Yeah. But this is. I'm not talking about what people were saying in Manhattan. I was talking about what people were saying in Ferguson, what they were saying across America the night that President Obama won.
Right. And folks were celebrating, and then they woke up to foreclosure. Many of them woke up to foreclosure notices on their homes. And what I say in the book is, I say that there's something that we have to confront honestly, and that's the value gap. I call it the value gap.
Right.
And the value gap is this fundamental belief, and we have to look at this squarely in the face, that in this country that's committed to democracy, that for so much of our history, white people have been valued more than black folk. White people have been valued more than others. And to the extent that is true, under all conditions, no matter what the inputs are, the outputs will be the same.
Right.
So even if you get an African American in the White House, even if you get an African American in the White House. In 2008, there was the Great Recession, but for black folk, I call it the Great Black Depression. And folks are talking about recovery right now, but we haven't recovered.
Well, it's going to require.
At the start of your book, and even in the introduction, I mean, you're very tough on Barack Obama. You're tough on Jimmy Carter. You're tough on Bill Clinton.
I call them all confidence men.
But with Barack Obama, though, is it your feeling that he just wasn't black enough?
No, not at all. I just say we green screened it. Right? We made him what we wanted him to be. We wanted him to be the anti-war candidate. We wanted him to be the progressive savior. We wanted him to be the person who would resolve all of our country's history.
What did you want him to do that he hasn't tried to do?
I wanted him to be bolder.
But you know what?
I wanted him to be bolder. I wanted him to be progressive. I didn't want him to be just simply a centrist liberal.
This is the problem. We don't elect emperors. We don't elect leaders that can rule by decree or edict. We elect a president who manages a democracy with 3 branches of government.
Of course.
We lost ground on the Voting Rights Act, not because of Barack Obama, but because of a recalcitrant Supreme Court. If we're going to have a complete discussion.
At the same time, though, Mark, you say this, President Obama, his first couple of years, had an overwhelming majority of Democrats running the House and the Senate. Could have passed so many things that he's been blaming Republicans not passed now.
But Joe,
I'm not giving anybody a free pass. But see, you're obsessing about Barack Obama.
No, I'm not. You all are talking only about Barack Obama.
No, we're not.
You all, this whole conversation.
Okay,
we're trying to have a conversation about the past 40, 50 years.
Right. Yeah.
And
so what about Bush? What about Reagan?
Oh,
what about
absolutely.
the impact that they
of course.
had also? So you got to look at all of it.
And I do that in the book.
Yeah,
I do that in the book.
But again, the past 40 or 50 years. I'm trying to get at the heart of this, though.
Right.
What do we do moving forward? What happens next?
Right.
What was not done over the past 8 years, over the past 80 years, that our next president needs to do?
I say in the book we need a revolution of value, reprising Dr. King's beautiful language from his book, Where Do We Go From Here? What is a revolution of value? We need to change how we view government, and we change how we view government by changing our demands of government. We need to change how we view black people. We're not lazy. Right, we're not sitting out around not wishing for the American dream, but we change how we view black people by changing how we view white people in this country. They're not valued more than others. That's what Black Lives Matter is all about. We know we matter. The point is that white folk don't matter more, right? And the last thing we need to do is change what ultimately matters for us. We can't be greedy. We can't be selfish. We can't be narcissistic. So we see all of the exciting energy around Bernie Sanders. That's just simply Occupy, making itself known in a political campaign. And so part of what we need to do is challenge at the very heart of what has happened in this country, and that is greed has overtaken democracy. And so this is what this book is all about.
So Eddie, you know, I actually, a couple of weeks ago when the debate about Woodrow Wilson was going on,
Oh, yeah.
I said we need to have an hour conversation. We need to have a round table, and we need to have thought leaders come in and talk about that. I'm going to invite both of you guys back. I know we're in the middle of a busy political season. We need to devote at least an hour to this issue and to so many other issues right now that so many Americans are talking about. You're in Princeton. That's not too far away.
Anytime.
2 hours.
We'll give you money for cab, whatever. I mean,
he's good.
No, or train or whatever.
I look forward to talking.
I'm joking, but we would love to have you come back if you can.
I would love to.
And have a big roundtable discussion, and let's do this for an hour. This is a critical issue.
The book is Democracy in Black: How Race Still Enslaves the American Soul.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you so much. Hi to Michelle for me.
Mr. Mayor, can I just say you did very good bidding for President Obama.
And you did a great job getting married to the greatest woman on earth.
Facts, Joe.
Facts.
I'm always into the facts.
Look at what they are.
Still ahead.
Good and bad.
That's what James Garfield had.
Still ahead. Wall Street appears to be holding steady this morning after yesterday saw the worst drop in months.